Well, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Well, I'll tell you what, if Boss Hogg was running against Hillary Clinton, I definitely would have voted for Boss Hogg. But I would have voted for Boss Hogg over Donald Trump too. But that's the deal. I knew the deal with Trump, man. He's pretty much a super salesman, BS artist, not really totally bad guy or nothing like that. And I know he's got. And the problem is, he might have been more effective, but I could tell you he wasn't really on the page where people think, and I'll tell you why. Because if I was this multi-billionaire, I would have been backing loads of publications, knocking out the underpinnings from the Clintons all the way since the early 90s, actually since 91. Even when he was Arkansas governor, I would have been knocking him down as soon as he started getting on the limelight to be president. But nope, Trump was buddy-buddy with him. Not just a casual acquaintance, but they extremely buddy-buddy. I told you this. Now, I don't think Trump is all that bad because he's got a patriotic streak in him because he went to that New York Academy, military academy, which his parents sent him to. And he's not all that bad. But the deal is he's in with the money. Goldman Sachs is in there big time, going to be guiding the nation through the economic crisis to make sure they don't lose their cut, just like any Yankee carpetbagger and scallywag there is. Boss Hogg is 1,000 times better than Trump, and Boss Hogg isn't the most honest guy in the world. But here you have Boss Hogg with the police and the moonshine. But speaking of moonshine, actually, this would be one of the ways to save America's economy. We can grow our own fuel and medicine and get drunk off it at the same time. And if you need psychotropic meds and you're depressed, take a swig of moonshine. That'll put freaking $500 billion worth of business right out of the world, right out of the pockets of pharma companies globally. Anyway, I want to go over this Republican health care repeal plan. Winners and losers. Tax cuts give $600 billion. Now, I don't want to knock. You see, the Republicans and the Democrats, they're both crapola. And the Libertarians are a bunch of crap, too, because they get worried about trivia garbage and put on a big show like they're fighting for freedom. And the most important things they ignore. Now, we can't fight this with agriculture, growing our own herbs, or just buying our own herbs. Because I can tell you, buying your own herbs and medicines and, Rhino bulk, whatever the hell it is, Rhino hard supplements, whatever the hell it is, in big bags. Hey, you could do a lot with that, too, for dirt cheap. Vitamin C is one of them, the glutathione, whatever, fine. Not an advertisement. I'm just telling you that's what I do. Tax cuts. This is what the plan. Now, this sailed right through the Congress. It's going to go to the Senate. It's probably going to, and Trump's going to go, he'll sign it. Gives $600 billion in tax breaks, mostly to the rich and the corporations. Healthcare cuts. Takes away health care from 24 million Americans. Millionaires get a $50,000 tax break by the repeal of the Affordable Care Act taxes on the rich. So they save $275 billion in tax cuts. That goes to the richest 2% in the nation. Low-income Americans. Now, I'm going to tell you, the premise this is all built upon is that do pharmaceutical drugs, are they really necessary? Do you really need them? No. You could throw the whole thing out the door. And that's going to, just keep that in mind when I'm going over this crap. Because this could be a non-issue. Pretty much, you can have health care for when you have a car accident, a motorcycle accident, or you fall out of a tree. You could skip health care for diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, whatever, Alzheimer's disease, whatever. You could cure all that with herbs, medicines, essential oils, and everything else. Low-income Americans, loss of $275 billion in revenues from wealth. But you know what? How about let's gut the whole freaking pharmaceutical industry? To hell with them. We don't need them. See, that's the solution. The politics about draining the swamp. You, the people, can drain the swamp. That's what I've been saying. I was making jokes about healthcare, make America great through moonshine. Indirectly, that's correct. Agriculture is going to be the way you can destroy the big system. They need to make growing your own fuel, at least, not just moonshine, but moonshine you put in your car. Oh, you imagine your mileage if you freaking were able to supplement that with some free stuff, basically free stuff. 400 richest families get a tax cut of $7 million a year on average. Workers, $7 million will lose health care coverage from their employer. Health insurance companies, here you go. See, affordable health care always was for insurance companies. They get $145 billion in tax breaks over 10 years. So Trump's all in with the money, just like he's He's actually worse than Boss Hogg. Boss Hogg, I would love to have him as president, you know? Boss Hogg would be the guy, man. Anyway, health insurance companies could increase premiums by up to $13,000. You know, I say to healthcare, screw you. The hell with you. We need to actually have like a little clique of people that you could depend upon that are like voluntary free doctors that maybe they're not medically trained, but herbalists, people know how to set bones, people might know how to do emergency whatever, and you sign a waiver that you don't sue the sucker, and maybe that'll just put them right the hell out of business. Because actually back in the old day, they used to have like the one person on the block was sort of like the person that really knew the medicines, and you would go to like back in in the one town where my family grew up a long time ago, back in the 30s, you'd go to old Mrs. Weinbaum. Old Mrs. Weinbaum would be, hey, she would know all the damn thing. Anyway, drug companies get $25 billion in tax breaks for 10 years. Patients no protections for huge drug prices increases. Well, we don't need the drugs, right? We don't need them. Really, that's what it comes down to. Get 117 billion tax cuts by eliminating small Medicare tax. This is what Trump's doing. Okay, Trumpcare slashes coverage for low and moderate income households. And I don't want to say this is a wah thing, because everybody could freaking grow their own herbs, and you know what? Whatever they don't use, they could sell. The only thing I'm growing right now is lemon trees, okay? We got lemons again. Lemons are pretty good for you, actually. They're the most alkalizing food going. If you put some lemon with a little juice, fresh organic lemon juice with some baking soda, you got that alkalizing effect going in your body, because the ash from the lemon is really the thing that's alkalizing. And that's the same thing as making your pH in your body more alkaline and being an electron donor, which fights everything. Because it's the opposite charge of pathogens, believe it or not. And right now I'm actually running my Spooky 2 Rife machine on Spooky Converge Sweep, which knocks out all pathogens, so we don't need this damn healthcare for the most part. So, Trumpcare slashes, and you know what, if you have a heart attack and you die, oh well, just don't pay the jackass, you know what I mean? I'm dead, I don't care. Anyway, Trumpcare slashes coverage for low to moderate households, so insurers, drug companies, and wealthy Americans get huge tax breaks. I hate drug companies. I hate pharmaceutical jackasses. I hate doctors. I hate nurses. I hate all of them. Okay, bring back the Indian medicine man. Better yet, how about a bonanza for all those guys, the bad guys, and disaster for the nations? So better yet, let's bring back moonshine. Moonshine. If you think about moonshine, it's one thing you think about the hillbillies making moonshine, but you got up in Russia. Vodka. We call it vodka. They call it vodka, right? Russia, they got a million different, I don't know, million, but hundreds of different medicinal uses for vodka or vodka. As they would say it, vodka. You want some vodka? Yeah. Well, same deal with moonshine. That could be medicine too. It is medicine. Actually, this destroys a lot of, if you're taking a little bit of moonshine every day, that's going to be not that you get drunk off your ass, but if you take a little bit of moonshine every day, even that has extreme health benefits. You know why? Because it destroys the bad pathogens in the gut. It doesn't necessarily harm the good ones. It destroys the bad pathogens in the gut. That's what's going on. So here we got Uncle Jesse and Boss Hogg. Now, Uncle Jesse, man, I would love this. Well, Uncle Jesse is not geared for being a politician. But you know what? Uncle Jesse represents us. Uncle Jesse is the guy that was, the farmer that was fighting the system all the time. And, if Boss Hogg got elected, that wouldn't be as bad as Donald Trump. And definitely, Donald Trump is way better than Hillary Clinton. Because, the Hillary Clinton needs to be flying off at the broom over the Pacific Ocean, and the broom starts running out of gas, and she lands into a pool of sharks. I mean, it'd be great, along with James Comey in the back seat on the broom. That would be nice, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's kind of a pipe dream. But, I'm telling you what the deal is. I've been telling you what the deal is. Some of the stuff I've been telling about Trump, I didn't want to hammer him too much because I wanted Hillary to lose, because I wanted her to have conniptions. But, everybody's having all this faith in James Comey's going after, yeah, he's going to get her. Yeah, you guys are blockheads and girls. You're idiots. I knew what was going on from day one. I knew what to deal with Comey. I knew all to deal with all this. And some people think I got a lot of time on my hands. No, I don't. I'm doing this. I could be making gobs of money, working for the evil clients in the big money, which is what I did because they used to call me, he's my good, I used to be called the good luck charm. You know what that meant? Because I was like the goose that made golden eggs for these jackasses, like I was shoveling golden nuggets into the vault all the time. Okay? You know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm working for you guys right now, okay? And I know this isn't like the biggest channel in the world or nothing like that, but you're getting a real scoop. Donald Trump and Boss Hogg. I don't know, man. Is there a comparison there? Yeah, more than likely. But I think Boss Hogg stands head and shoulders above Donald Trump. Because Boss Hogg is from Georgia. He's a Georgia boy, man. And a Georgia boy I would vote for in a second. Even if it's Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter actually wasn't even that bad. Mr. Peanut Farmer, he wasn't even that bad. You know, the big money didn't like him too much either. You know what I mean? You know? Donald is better than Hillary Clinton. Yes, we know that. Hands down. Bing, bang. It ain't taking much. But, you know, Boss Hogg would have swept every single state with 90% of the vote over Hillary Clinton. Okay? That's how much. Boss Hogg would have not got 30,000 at his rallies. He would have got 300,000 at his rallies. And Boss Hogg isn't necessarily squeaky clean, as you all know. Okay? So, I mean, you know, if you put Boss Hogg up against Hillary, forget it, man. But, you know, the way I look at it, Putin's going to blow up the Northeast. I don't even give a crap, to tell you the truth. You know? Actually, when I was watching, I was in my boss's office, and we were watching the Twin Towers on fire. And when it came down, I didn't really care, to tell you the truth, because I'm kind of disgusted with the Northeast. You know, you think that's pretty heartless, but those are evil people. They're as heartless to us. And you know, I was living down here. I was in Florida at the time. And my boss says, you know, too bad that wasn't the IRS. You know, yeah, he's like that guy I liked, man. I liked that guy. And he was Jewish, but he's like a Boss Hogg Jewish guy, man. He doesn't quite wear that big white hat, but he used to drive that gray Poupon car, the Rolls Royce, you know. So anyway, I liked him. I really loved that guy, to tell you the truth, man. But you know, moonshine, hey, we can make a lot of money on moonshine, man, because it's free trade zone. Make a free trade zone in the United States with moonshine. What about a free trade zone? Isn't that with the moonshiners in East Tennessee in the mountains and the western North Carolina Smoky Mountains, you know, because that's where wasn't that what they were really trying to do, establish a free trade zone? And what are the revenuers doing, man? They're freaking putting a hammer down on them, right? What is this garbage? Are they for free trade or what, huh? No, they're not. You know, they're only for free trade when the big businesses benefit by it, you know? Then they're fine with free trade. Only when the big guys benefit by it. Then it's free trade. But when you got moonshiners making moonshine, and you know people are just whatever buying it, fine. Hey, no, you gotta pay $umpteen. We gotta have it regulated. Yeah, and we know all that came from. We're gonna have another video on that because I think I've been harping on it from some angles, but we got to get some more angles out there. But anyway, Boss Hogg, we wish you were president. And Uncle Jesse was, you know, the model for the farmers in Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Central Florida, Panhandle Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Missouri. Hey! We'll even put Maryland and Delaware in there, just for good measure, and Arizona and New Mexico, just to make sure. You know, all the Confederacy. So anyway, I gave you the dime on his crap with Trump. I don't want to be too critical of him, you know, because you people love him. Like, he can't be doing nothing wrong. He's a conservative. Yeah, what the hell's that? You know? Like I said, you know what? If I got in the White House, I'd put a Confederate. You know what? I'm not getting in the White House. I don't want to be in the White House. I'd rather like freaking throw all those jackasses out of there and make the White House a museum. You know, we don't even need a White House because that's the thing you make a mistake on. But you know, if you saw a president go into the White House and put up a Confederate Nathan Bedford Forrest battle flag on the roof, come out with a jug of moonshine, swig it, and start shooting 45s into the White House wall at targets, then you know you got a president for the people. Yeah, then you know. That's the kind of shit I'd be doing. Because I'd really be pissing off the. Anyway, and I have white blonde feminist mowing the lawn by hand with non-gasoline lawnmowers. So that would be the deal. That's how I'd be running a freaking White House. How's that? Am I politically incorrect? No, no. I got my own way of thinking. Okay, this is the Confederate Party. We're not talking libertarian. We're not talking Republican. We're not talking Democrat. We're not talking whatever the hell else. Green Party. This is the Confederate Party. Anyway, over and out.